Assalamu alaikum, my name is Kashan Amir, and today the topic of my presentation is the SWOT analysis of the task in our course Community Service Learning. So let's just start by looking at what I've done so far. So this is the list of the tasks I've performed, and I have to complete. We were to actually complete 25 hours, and we would do 5 tasks in it. We also need to justify them. So let's just find out what I've done. The first task was garbage collection. I spent 6 hours there, and the personal experience was quite good, and it wasn't that bad. But I actually got to pick up unhygienic things as well, so that was a turn off. The approach that I used was need-based community work, wherein you basically see the need of the community or the area. It was a need of the community, that area, that it needs to get cleaned. So I did. So this comes under need-based community work, wherein you first see the need, how I can help in improving things, then you basically do the thing. And SWOT analysis basically is the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats you faced in doing anything. So I have to do SWOT analysis as well. So the strengths was that for doing this task, you need to have a motivation first, and I was motivated enough to do the task, so I did. The second task, the second thing in SWOT analysis is weakness. You have to list all the weaknesses or the weak points people may face in doing this task. So many people have the ego doing this task. So this is one of the weaknesses, that people do not find it something normal to just pick up things. They find it against their ego. So this could be listed as the weakness. We get this opportunity daily. How do we get? We basically have choice to throw the garbage or throw the wrapper we've used on the roads, on the things, and we also have the choice that we put it in dustbin. So this opportunity we get daily, but we do not realize it, and we just waste this opportunity of making our environment cleaner. Threats. The threats could be the diseases with direct contact to garbage and without gloves. So that could be the threat if the garbage is not dry, or you could say there's something smelly in it, or something of that is vulnerable to many viruses and bacteria and germs and all. So you basically have to take care of that. That you use gloves. That could be one of the threats to your healthy being, that you do this with naked hands. So the outcomes that we get by doing this task, after doing this task, is the realization of how hardworking the sweepers and cleaners are. And the outcome of the whole activity was a cleaner environment. It wasn't for a month or a year, but it was just for a day or two, because I do not get paid to do this task. I did this just for the sake of task. So the environment was cleaner, be it for a day or two. So let's move towards the next task, that is plantation. I spent 3 hours there, and the experience was also quite good. And the approach is quite similar, need-based community work. I first saw the need of that area, that it doesn't have plants according to the area, or I could say that the land was not very much with the plants. There was some empty land, so I foreseen the need of plant there. So I planted the plant. And strength, that you should know how to plant a plant, because without that you cannot just do it. Weakness, the plant could not be watered daily. That is one of the weakness you will face in this task, because you don't get to have much time, because you are a student, and you cannot just water plant daily. So that could be a weakness in this activity. And again, in the opportunities, we get to contribute to a small positive effect on climate. This is an opportunity that is there in this activity, and no threats were there. So let's just move towards the outcome of this activity. It was a healthier environment, cleaner air, and lesser pollution. Let's move towards the next task. That was spending time with orphan madrasa students. I had spent 6 hours there, and the experience was good. Again, the same approach, need-based community work, wherein you first see the need of the area or the community, then you serve. So I saw the need, that they usually don't get to see their friends or anything, because they do not have parents, and they're living with a tough life. So I have to spare my time for them and to serve them. Strengths. My parents are my strengths. This is what I've realized, that my parents are my strengths after visiting those orphans. And no weakness in the task. I found none. Opportunities. You get to earn sawab by doing this, by doing good with the orphans. And the outcomes of the task was the realization of how we do not realize that we have parents, and we do not respect them sometimes. And after visiting the orphan kids, you start appreciating the little things in life when you see people who do not have them. So this was the outcome. Let's move towards the next task, which is poster designing. I spent 5 hours there, and the experience was quite good, and it was for the first time I ever did it on canvas. I already did on Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, but the apps were not available right now, so I had to just switch to Canvas to do the activity. For that, I first saw the tutorial of how to use Canvas on YouTube, and the only thing about this activity is the opportunities. You don't get to see any strengths, weakness, or threats. In opportunities, you get to basically repolish your designing skill by doing a task professionally, because it was a center level event of Islamabad. It was not just you could say a normal event. It was a professional event. So you basically get to repolish your designing skills. And the outcome of the activity was enhancement of skill of poster designing. And I also learned the new tool that is Canvas. And these were the designs I created one after the other. And there was also a final design, which wasn't obviously made by me, but someone from the youth inside itself. I just shared the link with him. So the last task is the food distribution. I had spent 5 hours doing this. I actually spent 2 hours, but it took 3 hours in cooking. So I wrote it, and the experience was good. Again, the same approach, need-based community work, wherein you first identify the need of the community. I usually get to see many people who do not have enough of the food for daily, uh, for of their hungers, for their hungry routines, daily routines. And again, in this, there's nothing like strengths, weakness, and threats, but just an opportunity that you get to earn sawab. And the outcome of the whole activity was giving to people spread happiness. Feeding someone doesn't make much difference to you, but it would surely be making some difference to the one you're helping. So this was the outcome of the activity, and these are my picks. I did the task. Okay, so this was basically it. It was all the brief introduction of what I did so far in the 5 tasks, and thank you.